are a young man and you have low testosterone, this video is going to change everything for you. And maybe you're a young man and you don't know if you have low testosterone or not, but if you have low libido, low motivation, low drive, low muscle mass, then odds are you might have low testosterone. Those are a lot of the symptoms. There's even some more out there, but if you are feeling those things, you might have low testosterone, and it's important for you to pay attention to this video today. And the reason why I'm making this video is because recently I got my blood work done for the very first time. I thought my blood work was going to come back great. I thought I was going to have high test, but that was not the case. And the reason why that wasn't the case is because of these 4 things that I'm going to break down in this video. And I'm going to give you guys a roadmap on exactly how to fix your low testosterone and what you can do to do so. The thing that a lot of people get wrong when it comes to testosterone, and specifically for myself, is training. I thought that the more training that I did, the more and higher testosterone that I will have, but that was not the case. And my problem was overtraining. So the first thing you got to do is fix your training. And the reason why you need to fix your training is because if you are in the gym 6-7 times a week and you're working out for 2 hours a day like I was, odds are you are stressing your body out, which is going to raise your cortisol. And if your cortisol levels are high, they have an inverse relationship with testosterone, so your testosterone levels are going to be lower. And that is exactly what happened to me. Before I took my test, I had been training very hard, 12-13 days straight, up until the test, and the night before I did a very hard leg day, and then I took my test and it came back low because my body was stressed out. So you got to watch out for this. So you got to change your training. Just 5 sessions a week, okay? And then 75 minutes or less in your sessions, okay? Do not keep it more than 75 minutes. When I was training, I was in there for an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, and 2 hours. And all my levels and all my blood testing, my numbers came back fine for diet, for vitamin D, for literally everything else. But the obvious common denominator for myself was that I was overtraining. And the reason why I was overtraining is because I was in the gym 6-7 times a week, and I was doing an hour and a half, an hour, 45-minute sessions every single time I was in the gym. I was also doing sets till failure every single time, which you don't need to do. That is going to stress your body out. So what I recommend instead is for each exercise, only take 1 set to close to failure, okay? 1 set to close to failure for each exercise, right? If you are in the gym and every single set you're doing close to failure and then you're doing drop sets like I was, you are stressing your body out and you are going to raise your cortisol. So you got to watch out for overtraining. That is the thing that is going to hurt your testosterone and hurt your gains in the long run. Ever since I noticed this within my blood work, I started to change to 5 days a week, and now I feel more rested. I feel like I have better workouts, and additionally, I feel like I look bigger and I am stronger because I'm giving my body more time to rest and recover. See, you have to understand that your muscles do not grow while they're in the gym. They get broken down in the gym and then they grow outside of the gym. So you need to give your body some time to rest. You don't need to be in the gym for an hour and a half, an hour, 45 minutes, right? You can do 5 sessions a week for under 75 minutes, and you can do heavy compound movements, right? That's what's going to increase your testosterone while you're in the gym. And you are going to actually get gains and increase testosterone from the gym instead of having it be something that takes away from your testosterone, right? So I always thought if I do more, if I go to the gym more, I'm going to get more jacked, I'm going to get more shredded, my test is going to be higher. But actually, when it comes to this, less is more. 5 times a week, 75 minutes or less, heavy compounds movements, and only take 1 set close to failure for each exercise. If you do this every single workout, you are going to feel stronger, you are going to have better recovery, which in turn is going to allow you to get more testosterone and get more gains in the gym. Now, the second thing that is also going to help with lowering your cortisol and overall your testosterone is sleep, okay? And this was another thing that I wasn't really neglecting. I was doing a good job with sleep, but I didn't really understand how much sleep I was actually getting. So every single night I go to bed at 10 and I wake up at 6, and that is a good amount of sleep, but it's not great. You have to understand that when you are in bed, you're not actually sleeping that entire time. A lot of the time you're tossing and turning, a lot of the time you're up, maybe you're going to the bathroom, maybe you're finding a nice comfortable position. A lot of the time you're not sleeping. If you're in bed for 8 hours, odds are you're only sleeping for like 6.5 or 7 hours, okay? So when it comes to your sleep, you should be in bed for 8.5 hours, right? Be in bed for 8.5 hours, because that is actually how you're going to be able to get that 7.5, 8 hours of deep and REM sleep. If you are able to cut off the blue light specifically from your phone 30 minutes before bed, that is going to help you sleep deeper and sleep better. You have to understand that blue light cuts off your melatonin production, right? So melatonin is the property and the chemical within your body that is able to give you greater deep and REM sleep, and deep and REM sleep is when you produce testosterone. So if you are not producing melatonin, you're not going to produce as much testosterone because you're not getting deep and REM sleep. And blue light is the culprit of this that cuts your melatonin levels down. So you got to watch out for blue light. And so the best thing you can do is set a bedtime alarm and get off your phone 30 minutes before bed. So watch out for being on your phone right before bed. Another thing I would recommend for you guys is to get some red tinted blue light blocking glasses. If you do this, this will also help block any blue light you get from maybe a TV, a light, anything like that. And then make sure you are sleeping in an extremely cold and dark room, okay? Every single night, ever since I got my blood test, I realized I needed to be an even darker room and I needed an even colder environment, okay? So your body is gonna produce more testosterone when you are in a cold and dark environment. So what I did is I got some blackout curtains and I started setting my temperature to 65 to 66 degrees tonight, and then got those blackout curtains. If you do this right here, you're gonna sleep deeper, you're gonna sleep better because you're in a cold and dark room, you're not getting blue light, you're producing more melatonin, and you're gonna get more deep and REM sleep because of that. So make sure every single night you are doing these 3 things. They're simple, easy things that cost no money for you to do. Getting off your phone 30 minutes before bed costs nothing, and getting some blue light blocking glasses really costs nothing either. So make sure you're in bed for 8.5 hours a night, right? So now, instead of me being in bed from 10 to 6, I go to bed at 9:30 so I can wake up at 6. That's the time I need to be up by. So 9:30 to 6, now I get more deep, I get more REM sleep, and I'm in bed for a longer time, which means I'm gonna sleep for a longer time. Okay, so sleep is like one of the #1 things when it comes to producing testosterone, because when you are in deep and REM sleep, that is the stage when the body produces testosterone. The thing which is just as important as training and sleep is going to be your diet. Everything is important, but these 3 things right here, if you get those correct, your testosterone is gonna be way higher, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna recover better, and you are gonna put on more muscle and have more gains, okay? So your diet is the thing that ties it all together, because ultimately, whatever you put in your body, that is the result you are ultimately gonna get. So be cautious of what you are putting in your body. And the first thing that you should put in your body and what you should change your diet to is the red meat and eggs diet. And the reason why you wanna change to the red meat and eggs diet is a simple reason. Testosterone, if you look at a chemical bond chain, before testosterone, cholesterol comes first. And so in order for you to have higher testosterone levels, you need to have higher cholesterol levels. The plethora of micronutrients that are in red meat and eggs is going to allow your body to operate at its highest possible level, okay? And the reason why is because your body has certain essential vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that it cannot produce on its own, right? It can produce about 12 of them, but it needs 9 other ones that are essential that you need to get through diet, okay? So this is what you got to look out for. And red meat and eggs have the highest micronutrient profile, which is going to have those essential amino acids, vitamins, and minerals that your body can't produce. And if you're eating foods like chicken, rice, protein shakes, which is what I was eating previously, what is happening is that your body's not getting the micronutrients, so your hormones are not going to operate at its highest peak. So you got to watch out for this and make sure you're going to go to the grocery store anyways. So what you get at the grocery store is ground beef, eggs, rice, and fruit. Fruits are going to keep you hydrated, rice for your carbs, red meat and eggs for your protein and fats, and your cholesterol levels and your micronutrients. That is the whole diet right there. That is the plethora, okay? Some other things that I do to supplement is boron, creatine, and magnesium at night to be able to produce more deep and REM sleep. And that's literally it. Boron is a great way to increase your free testosterone as a supplement, and it's not really found in modern diets. You'd have to eat a lot of avocados to be able to get that amount of boron, but boron is a great way to increase your free testosterone, which is gonna help increase your total testosterone. So boron, creatine, and magnesium before sleep, those are the supplements that I take every single day in order to get on this path of increasing my testosterone. The fourth and final thing is very simple, but a lot of guys overcomplicate it. This is something that every single guy can do on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, and these are natural and competitive things. When you think of testosterone, you think of competition. You think of, guys playing basketball, guys playing football, guys playing sports, having some competitive edge in there, and that is the thing that our society is missing, okay? We are missing the level of competition, and I don't know if I spelled that right, hopefully I did, but natural remedies and competition is another great way to increase your testosterone. And what do I mean by natural remedies? vitamin D and grounding. If you do these two things right here, your levels are going to increase because your cortisol is going to decrease. Vitamin D is literally the creator of all things on life. So if you want to grow in all levels, you need to be getting more natural vitamin D. The thing about my levels is that my vitamin D was out of range because I was supplementing it. When if I just stayed getting my natural vitamin D, my testosterone probably would have been higher. Okay, so natural vitamin D, so getting out into the sun, and grounding are two natural things that you can do to be able to increase your testosterone. And the thing about animals is that they are always outside, they're always in nature, they're always in the sun, and they're always having connection with the ground, right? And you don't see animals having problems with testosterone or libido or motivation or drive, none of those things, because they're outside and they're in a competitive environment and they are grounding and they're getting sun all day, every day. So this is a thing that we as human beings, we gotta get back to, is getting vitamin D, being outside, grounding, and then the competition. Testosterone, basically all it does is makes effort feel good. It makes the hard things feel good, which as a man, we need. We need hard things to be able to feel good, and we need some reward from that. And so when you do difficult things, like competing in a basketball game or competing in a football game, that is something that is not easy because you are going at a goal against a bunch of other men, right? So competing and competitive edge is something we need to get back to. And so after I got my numbers back, I had to look myself in the mirror and I was like, I was not getting out and being competitive with my friends anymore, right? I wasn't playing pickup basketball anymore. I wasn't doing the things that I always did, which was competing, right? When I was in high school and I was in college, I played basketball, and that was a way of me competing. So I never really felt tired, low energy, low motivation because I had something to look forward to. I had that competitive edge. So that is something that you need to get back to, is competitive edge. And the easiest thing you can do is just play pickup basketball, right? Playing pickup basketball is the easiest thing you can do because first of all, you're getting good cardio. You're sprinting at full speed a lot of the time too, which is going to help increase your testosterone and your overall muscle mass. And then additionally, you're having that competition. You're talking shit, whatever the case may be. You could even play outside, get vitamin D. That's a great way to do it as well. Pickup basketball is one of the best things that you can do in order to increase your testosterone, in order to get that competitive edge back. So from now on, after I got my numbers back, I'm like, all right, I need to start playing more. So I'm gonna go once every 2 weeks to play a little pickup basketball. So get your competitive edge back, play some pickup basketball. Another natural remedy you can do is smoking cigars and just hanging around guys, right? If you're around girls all day, girls are low test, so you're gonna become like them. So cigars and being with your boys. Be with your boys, go on boys trips, get outside, do stuff in nature, and you are gonna be all good. So these are the 4 things and the 4 pillars that I would recommend for all of you guys to fix your low testosterone. And this is how I'm gonna fix mine. I'm gonna get my training in check. I'm gonna make sure I'm not overtraining, make sure my sleep is locked in, my diet is gonna be locked in, and then we're gonna get back to having that natural and competitive edge that we always need as human beings. Without further ado, this is your man, Tyler James. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know your thoughts on the video below. I upload twice a week, so hit the subscribe and notification bell for more videos just like this from your boy. And I will see you guys on the next one.